Hey, welcome back to the Y.E.S Functional Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. I am Chris Porter, best-selling author and owner of Y.E.S Fitness, and I first want to thank you for taking time from your busy day to listen to what I have to say. So hopefully I'm going to give you some valuable information on how to make your lives just a little bit better. So we've got a little bit of housekeeping first. If you would like a copy of today's notes, or if you want to listen to a replay of it, you're welcome to go to yesfitnessct.com, scroll down, and at the bottom of the page, you'll see podcasts. Go there and you can see this podcast and all 210 of the broadcasts that we've done so far. That's if you don't want to scroll through YouTube or Facebook to find us. You'll also be able to find us on Spotify, and I think we're heading out to all the platforms now, wherever you watch or listen, I should say, listen to your favorite podcast. We also, for housekeeping, want to let you know that Monday, Labor Day, I want to say that's what's 8, 7, 6, 5, September 5th, I think it is. We will be closed. We are open Saturday for our normally scheduled sessions, but we will be closed that Monday. We're getting a little housekeeping done this weekend anyway, so we cannot be open that Monday. Finally, do you want to wake up and feel strong again? Do you want to feel firm again? You want to feel like your clothes are fitting? You want to feel like you have some energy you haven't had in a long time? Maybe you need to lose some stress. Well, you can do all that with our Drop 2 Sizes, our D2S challenge. It's an 8-week challenge. You don't need to be a member here at Y.E.S Fitness to participate in the challenge. You can just come in and do your 8 weeks and leave. We've had many people do that over the years, and that's fine. We just want to help people get the results that they're looking for. So what is this challenge all about? Well, the mechanics of it is you're going to bring in a pair of jeans that you actually cannot button. You can't button at all. You can't even make the flaps touch. And in 8 weeks, we're going to be able to not only button those jeans, but they are going to fit you comfortably. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds impossible, but it happens. We've done it many times over the last decade. And if you're struggling with any of those things, you know that if you lose some weight, if you tighten up again, if you firm up, get some exercise in, get a little bit better nutrition, sleep habits, all those kind of things, you are actually going to feel better. You're going to feel better about it yourself. You're going to be happier. So if you're interested, there's a link right above this. Click on that link, go to the site, sign up for our free kickoff seminar so you can learn all about the program, how it works, how you are going to be successful. It is on Tuesday, September 13th at 6 p.m. right down here at Y.E.S Fitness. Give us a call, stop by, whatever. Let us know that you're coming because space is limited. We are not a large facility. And we really want to get those people in here that want to make some changes in their lives. So what I have to discuss with you today is all about making changes, okay? How we want to focus on minimal, viable progress now for meaningful wins down the road. Every day do something that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. This is a quote from Doug Firebaugh. And it's the power of small wins that leads to your success. And that's what this program is about. It's about making small changes and building on those wins till we get to where we want to be, and that's putting those jeans on. Just every day, we want to do one thing to bring us closer to a better tomorrow. Whether it's with fat loss, whether it's with our work, whether it's with our relationships, whatever it is, we can take these principles to any part of life and have them work. Now, I got some of this materials from the book Essentialisms by Greg McKeon. It's a book my daughter Paige suggested I read. She really liked it, so I picked it up and actually I didn't pick it up. I listened to my books on my morning walk in the morning, and I came across this chapter and I said, you know what? This is something that we do all the time. This is something we do with all our clients all the time because these little changes, these little wins that make them successful. So I'm going to use some of the analogies that he has in this book. And the first one is, think of the last time that you were stopped by a police officer. You were pulled over. Maybe you've never been pulled over. I know I've been pulled over too many times. But whenever you get pulled over, you start to get nervous and you think, is this going to be a good ticket or a bad ticket? Well, we all know typically it is never a good ticket. It's always a bad ticket, right? So a precinct in Richmond, Canada, thought this assumption should be challenged. How can it crack down on crime? Through harsh laws, stronger sentencings, and initiating zero tolerance. Okay. And for years, this is how they addressed crime. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I don't know anything about criminal judges. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. This is just the way they've followed their practices for many, many years. Until a new superintendent came in, and their recidivism rates were at 65%, and they were spiraling. Youth crime was spiraling, okay? It was out of control. So this new superintendent came in, and he wanted to challenge how they were handling crime, and he wanted to try to eliminate criminal behavior before it happened. So they came up with this program. And in this program, they were going to not only give out normal tickets, but they were going to give out positive tickets, especially to youth. So they gave out these positive tickets to youth for whatever. Maybe they're just riding their bike down the road and wearing a helmet, or they're with their skateboards and they're skateboarding in the right place, or you see somebody pick up some garbage and throw it away. Whatever a youth, they see something doing well, they're going to give the youth a positive ticket. And this positive ticket was associated with some kind of benefit, whether it was free entry into the movies or pizza or some kind of activity to get them off the streets so they could start to build some positive momentum, okay? And he committed to this for a long time. It took a long time. So after about a decade, did it work or didn't it work? Well, of course, I'm talking about this, so we that it worked, right? It took some time, but it reduced the recidivism rate from 60% to 8%. That's huge change, right? So what we want to talk about here is they didn't just try to wipe everything out with the big overhaul, right? They made small changes, and it took a long time for those changes to make. Now, certainly if you come in here and you want to lose weight, you're not going to give me 10 years, right? Of course not. But we always take a look at things, go big or go home, right? It's always big or go home. We try to do too much and we fail. We try to make too many changes all at once and we aren't able to maintain them for the long haul. We want to be able to make changes that we can maintain. We want little wins, okay? And the more we reach for the stars, the more we come out with these big elaborate goals, it's harder to get ourselves off the ground and going in the right direction. So to have real success, you want to start off small and you want to celebrate progress. This is what's really important. You need to celebrate progress. Something we do down here all the time is we try to always give our clients some encouragement, whether it's during that workout or even when they're home, whether we send them a text or we send them a card in the mail, or we call them rock cards, to give them some solid positive feedback. And these simple wins are in areas that are essentials to their to the results they're looking for. So rather than dive right into something and go hard, which leads to failure, it's better to ease into things. Try to make some small changes. So figure out one change at a time. And it doesn't even have to be the biggest rock. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing. It just needs to be one that you can maintain. And once we're able to maintain that, we go to the next one. So I give you an example. When I don't know how many years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, it's more than that now. It's about 9 years ago. About 9 years ago, I presented to a group of other business owners to be in a contest for Business Owner of the Year. And my theme was that when you're in business, you don't want to go for the home run. You want to hit singles. and you want to build on those singles. Okay. So you want to get a single. So you get someone on first base, and you hit another single from first base to second base. So you do little things that are going to build until ultimately the main goal has been achieved. The main goal was achieved. I've been in business 23 years now, or is it 24 years? Somewhere around that, right? So those little singles, the little changes that we make are what leads to the big picture, right? Another example. A year ago, a little over a year ago, I raced in the race over the Master Games, and I did not win. I didn't perform as well as I wanted to. So in that year's time, we decided one thing that might help me in my speed, sprinting 50 or 100 meters, would be to lose 30 pounds of fat, not lose any strength, lose 30 pounds of fat. So in that year's time, I didn't just try to lose all 30 pounds in the first 3 months, 10 pounds a month, go crazy like that. I tried to make some small changes. Some worked, some didn't work. But as I was making these changes, I would make one change. If I didn't see the change, then I would make a little bit different change. So for example, the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I was getting enough protein in. So I took a look at all my meals and made sure that each meal had the amount of protein that I was looking for to reach my goal, which was 1 gram of protein per lean body mass. So somewhere around 140, I forget, maybe it was 140, 150 grams of protein a day. That's a lot. So if I'm eating 5 meals a day, that means every meal has to have 30 grams of protein in it. So that was my first thing. Once I achieved that, once I could manipulate my meal plan to make sure I did that, my next step was to try to make sure that I was at the right caloric intake. So I started taking a look at how many calories I was taking in at every single meal and so forth. And from there, I did some other things, make sure I was drinking enough water. Around Christmas time, beginning of the year, I realized I wasn't out on the sales floor, or I should say the coaching floor, coaching as much anymore. So I need to make sure that I was getting enough steps in. So I made sure in the mornings now I would get up and walk for 3 or 4 miles to make sure I get my steps in, not necessarily for caloric intake, really more for stress reduction, cortisol levels, insulin resistance or sensitivity, things like that. So little changes like that I made, to the point where when I came around to the race this year, no, I wasn't 30 pounds lighter. I was over 20 pounds lighter. Didn't win the race. Didn't really perform that much better. I think there's more skill in the beginning of the race than I have right now. But anyway, so you can see by making small changes over time, I was able to drop 20 pounds. How many people out there right now would be like 20 pounds lighter? How many people right now would like to be 20 pounds lighter in less than a year, or maybe 6 months, 9 months? A lot of people probably would be. That's 20 pounds of fat. So an example of what the police did at Richmond, Canada, was a police officer, and why this really, really cemented some positive mindset of some young adults, was they gave a positive ticket, gave positive to a young man who saved a girl from being hit by a car. And when he went home, he displayed it on the wall. And when his mom came in and asked if he could turn that in for the bonus, and he said, no way. He was told by the officer that he did a positive thing and he could make a positive difference, and that he could be something someday. He could be something. So that was worth more than a free pizza or bowling. We send out certificates for 6 months, a year. Every time you're here for 6 months or a year, people put those on their refrigerator. They celebrate the fact that they've been exercising for 10 years. And some people for 6 months, whatever it is, they take those certificates and they put them on the wall. It's just some positive reinforcement. Now, it took some time, but acts like this over time changed the culture in this town in Canada. So we often feel like we got to go out and make a large change to do something big. We need to start off big to make big changes all at once, because we definitely live in an instant gratification society. But that's not what the research shows. We start projects. We always think that we need to start big, but only too big, and it never gets done. Like, for example, exercise. People start to exercise. I'm going to exercise every day. What happens? They miss a day. They start to beat themselves up. They don't go back. or they work out so hard that they don't feel well. They're so tired and sore that they don't go back. They work out for 2 hours or 3 hours. That's not a whole lot of fun. They don't have much time in their day. So what happens? It doesn't work. Rather than say, you know what? I want to improve my health a little bit. So maybe I just need to start walking. Maybe I need to start walking 15 minutes a day after breakfast, after lunch. Now I'm at 30 minutes a day. I know 150 minutes a week is going to improve my health. So that's 30 minutes. So I've hit a goal right there. 30 minutes. Let's celebrate, right? Let's move on to the next thing now. Maybe you want to take a look at your diet. So what do we try to do? We just go right out. We go full bore. I give up carbs. I give up sugar. I go gluten free, and so forth down the line. And it's not sustainable. So the small changes are what you need to do. And research has shown that all forms of human motivation, the most effective one is progress. Progress is what's important. That's why small concrete wins creates momentum and affirms our faith in our future success. So I'm just going to say that again because this is what's so important. Research has shown that all forms of human motivation, the most effective one is progress. Why a small concrete win creates momentum and affirms our faith in future success. Little wins over and over and over again. That's what you're looking for. And eventually it becomes easy. So it's a Harvard Business Review. And one more time article, how do you motivate employees? So whether it's employees or we take it upon ourselves somewhere else in our lives, Frederick Herzberg shows research that the two primary internal motivators for people are achievement and recognition for achievement. So if you can make some small changes and be recognized for it, let's say you're trying to lose some fat, okay? Let's say you're trying to get to the gym. Whoever your support person is, show them your food journal or let them know, hey, you know what? We sit down for dinner. Hey, you know what, honey? I walked twice today for 15 minutes. I did my 30 minutes for the day. Celebrate that. Celebration doesn't mean that you have to, have ice cream. You don't have to have food. Not everything needs to be associated with food. All bonuses associated with food. Just that affirmation from your support person saying, great job, is going to help you build some momentum. So more research shows that everyday progress, even a small win, can make all the difference in how people feel and they perform. Just that simple, hey, nice job, is going to help people feel good and they're going to perform better. Of all the things that can boost emotion, motivation, and perceptions during a workday, the single most important thing is making progress in meaningful work. So instead of starting big, okay, start small and build momentum. And then we can use that little momentum, okay, to work towards the next win and the next one and the next one until you have a significant breakthrough, until like in 2 sizes, we can put those jeans on, okay? By making small changes, one after one, it will become seamless. There'll be less friction. It'll actually be easier to do rather than starting out so large. So let's look for some small changes we can repeat that we can do often because there's power in repetition. Put your energies towards habits and systems that set you up for success. So here's some things that you might want to take a look at, okay? And I have some systems in my life, okay? I want to make sure that I get certain foods in my diet on a very frequent basis. I like to make sure I get kale. I make sure I like to get some spinach. I like to make sure that I get some chia seeds and some flaxseed, and I get a little wheat germ, and I try to get some hemp seeds and things like that. And like, where are you going to fit all this stuff into the way you cook every single day or even on a consistent basis? I put all that stuff. My system is I make my shake for the week, or I make my salad for the week and I put some seeds in my salad. Or when I have breakfast in the morning, I just throw in some seeds in there. Those are just some simple, easy changes that I've made that are going to allow me to have those foods that I think are important for my health in my diet consistency. Okay. So here's a few things. Let's focus on the minimal viable progress. Okay. Minimal stuff you can do. Don't make it hard. Make it easy. If it's drinking enough water, let's figure out how to make it easy for you to drink water. Okay. Doing something is better than nothing. Okay. We're not going to be perfect, but finding the simplest variable change that will lead to our success. Make it simple. What is that simplest? What's the smallest possible change that can be useful and valuable to help you get to your goal, to help you succeed? What's the smallest amount of progress that can be useful and valuable to the essential task you're trying to achieve? Again, so for nutrition, I need to drink some more water. That's where we start. So let's figure out how to help you drink some water. Let's make it easy for you to drink some water. Okay. Maybe you need to get more sleep. Maybe you need to reduce some stress. Maybe you need to exercise. Okay. Whatever it might be. Maybe you need to get more protein in. So let's just make sure we're getting some protein in there. Let's put it in a drink. Pour it in a drink and drink it. Okay. Simple. Okay. And let's do the minimal variable preparation. Again, address a project two ways. You can either start early and prepare, or you can try to do it big time in the last minute. Do it last minute, pull an all night or something like that. It's a lot easier if you take some simple things, some simple variables, and prepare. I always say the 5 P's: plan, have a plan, prepare for that plan. So it's the minimal thing you can do right now to help you succeed, right? You don't have to think about it. You have to really figure it out. Just make it simple, okay? And make that progress. Sometimes you can make that progress very visual, okay? So, for example, when we were a kid and we were doing a fundraiser at the school and they had the big thermometer there and it showed the progress the school was making, that's always very rewarding. That's always very motivating. Or we used to get stars when we were kids, right? When we did stuff like that. So maybe you can come up with something that'll allow you to have some visual satisfaction on top of that reaffirming, being told that you're doing a great job from your support person. So that's the keys, those 3 things. Just think about making progress every single day. A small win, they can make all the difference in the world. And we're going to just boost our emotions, our motivation, our perception, and it's just going to build. It's going to build over time. It's going to help create routines. It's going to help us achieve things. It's going to be easier. And we're going to build some momentum with all this. It's just a huge body of scientific research to explain the mechanisms by which routine enables difficult things to become easy. So start with something small, build some momentum, and you're going to see some success. And if you struggled, like I said, with some fat loss over the years, maybe you've been successful and put it back on again. Maybe you've never been successful, and you need some kind of jump start. You want to kickstart. Maybe you want to get going and keep it going for a long period of time. Our Drop 2 Sizes is a program that's worked for over a decade for us. Thousands of people across the country. It's a worldwide program. Give us a call. Click on the button. We'd love to help you. So you can take these principles towards anything in your life. Doesn't necessarily need to be exercise and nutrition. Anywhere in life, these same principles, small wins, builds momentum. I hope this is helpful for you. Again, always, if you have any questions, contact me. I'd be more than happy to give you a hand with this. I want to thank you again for watching and listening to what I have to say. And I hope you have a great evening. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a good night.